Hey there, how you doing? So I'm here on the west coast. You can just see me above Santa Monica is just in the background here. The beautiful Pacific Ocean. Look how blue it is out there. You can see the Santa Monica Pier just down here, which is quite cool. It's actually quite a beautiful day here in California. So I'm just standing above on a rooftop here, overlooking the ocean here, and we've got the Santa Monica Mountains in the range just over here. So how long can it take to close a deal? So it depends on the revenue, the size of the amount. That's the big question here, is how much people are willing to spend and how quickly can they make that decision in terms of the size of the deal that you're proposing. So anything between $1,000 and $5,000 is something that people can decide on fairly quickly. So anything between $1,000 and $5,000 is something that people can decide on very, very quickly. And so what I mean by quickly, they can literally decide on one call. You can do a one-call close on $1,000 to $5,000. If they're spending, $1,000 a month, or $1,500 a month, or $2,000 a month, you could look anywhere between 3 to 5 days, depending on your sales cycle. You can see the Santa Monica Mountains just in behind me. It's very pretty here, by the way. Beautiful day. So if you're looking at a deal where you're charging $3,000 plus, you're looking anywhere between up to 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for people to make a decision from the time you do your initial consultation to the time you close the deal. It could be anywhere up to 2 weeks for a $36,000 a year commitment. Now, I've seen that close cycle a lot shorter, but to make that a reality, they need a lot of context, or they need some level of indoctrination so that it's right for them, so that they're in the buying zone, so they'll make the decision fairly quickly. So if we're talking about 5,000 plus to 10,000, you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks for a $5,000 a month to $10,000 deal. 6 to 12 weeks if it's $10,000 a month plus. So anything over $100,000 is going to take you between 6 and 12 weeks for the person to make a decision, because there's going to be a little bit of back and forth in a negotiation stage. You'll have to answer questions. They're going to ask you they might ask you for compliance. They might ask you for clarification on your agreement. They might have to get the budget ready for you or together for you so that you can actually close that deal. So 6-figure deals, 100,000, 120,000 can take anywhere between 6 to 12 weeks to close. So that's roughly a little over a couple of months, maximum 3 months. Now, anything above that, 20,000 a month, 25,000 a month, is going to take between 12 weeks or up to a year to close. So if you're looking for a $300,000 deal to a $500,000 deal, then it's going to take you somewhere between 6 months or up to 6 months, and in that 6 to 12 month zone. $1 million deal, and I've done a few of these, they can take, in fact, I'm in the middle of a $1 million deal negotiation. They can take between 12 months and up to 18 months for something that's in that $1 million plus. So that's somebody spending $100,000 a month or more with you on a deal, or they're paying $1 million up front for a deal. So we've had one of our consulting champions just negotiated a deal with a client where they put a $108,000 deposit down on their deal, and they paid up front. So, and that deal took roughly 6 weeks to conclude. So the bigger deals will take longer because more information is needed. There may be more decision makers involved. There may be more people in the negotiation process. And the part of the thing is you want to find out about all of this through the sales process. You want to be asking questions if there are other stakeholders involved in the decision-making process to make an investment in your deal. And so this is why it's really important that you have a clearly mapped out sales process. But more importantly, one of the cool questions to ask people is, how do you make a buying decision? who's involved in the buying decision, who's the ultimate person that's going to sign off on that. If you can get to those answers as quickly as possible, then that's going to speed up the process of the decision-making process, because you're dealing with the people who are going to make that commitment to you in your business. So understand how long can it take. Thank you for those people who are doing likes and hearts. I really appreciate that. How long can it take? It can take, as I said, small deals you can close within a couple of days or up to 5 days. Anything above 30,000 plus may take a week or two, depending on if there's a budget constraint. There are exceptions to the rule. Anything 50,000 plus, you're looking up to 3 to 5 weeks. 100,000, you're looking 6 to 12 weeks. Above 100,000, you're looking 6, sometimes up to 12 months. And anything over $1 million is going to take you a year, depending on where they are in the buying cycle for that deal. So I have been, for example, one of our champions, Mark, closed a $500,000 Facebook ad deal. There was a $10,000 a month management fee for that campaign. That deal took 12 weeks to close. From the time that the client went through their brief of what they wanted to achieve in their campaign, how they wanted to work, what they wanted to look like, they were an integral part of the planning process. So at the end of the day, when the deal was offered to them, it was their deal. It was their plan, their deal, their idea. So it was going to be very difficult for them to say no. They pretty much mapped it out as to how they wanted to see things working, and Mark closed a $500,000 deal with a $90,000 deposit, an initial installment, to get that started. So yes, you can close the big deals quicker, but in most cases you're going to have to take the time to answer the questions, get all your compliance correct, make sure that you have a very solid agreement, that you're very clear about the undertaking, you understand who the stakeholders are and who's involved in the deal, and that way you will speed up the process of generating sales. So as I said, at the low level, sales can happen pretty quickly. The cash at the low level decisions are made fairly quickly. Anything when it starts to get into that high 5-figure and starts to get into the 6-figure territory, that's where you may have to jump through some hoops to actually close those deals. So that might give you an indication. And the other thing is you want to also take into consideration what preparation you need, what questions that you need to answer for the bigger deals. And the bigger companies have the budgets. Companies that are 5 million plus, they've got 6-figure budgets for marketing. In fact, they can allocate that 6-figure budget to the marketing because they need to. 5% of their revenue at 5 million plus, essentially $100,000, $250,000 at that 5 million mark. So $250,000 is a significant investment that they have in budgeting for marketing, and from a digital point of view, at least half of that will go to online. So that's roughly $175,000 that they have to invest at the $5 million mark in online marketing structures or services. So understand that you have if you know what the client's looking for, if you prepare your presentation, if you have all the questions that you know are going to be answered in advance, all these little things will actually speed up the process. And one of the things that you want to be conscious of is in the indoctrination of your client. And that means where they understand you, what you're about, what your vision, where you're heading to, how you help them, how they get the best result working with you, and why you are the ultimate choice for them. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas. I'm going to say goodbye from the beautiful Santa Monica. You can see Santa Monica and the Santa Monica Ranges just behind me. Just in the fair distance over there, we've got Century City. I don't know if you can actually see that, some of the buildings in the background, but a beautiful day here in Los Angeles. I hope that you've got a few ideas. If you want some more training, go to consultingunleashed.com, consultingunleashed.com. Go and download some of the training I've got there. It will speed up the process for you to go and generate clients. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.